given like your TradFi background, right, I wanted to actually discuss how you look at drawing parallels between what happened with GameStop and what happens with crypto, right? Because in a way, GameStop, if you think about it, it's a token, and Roaring Kitty, the guy who's behind that, he was, let's say, the founder, or who's just like rallying the community, right? And the entire concept behind was that the narrative was that you need to say fuck you to these big hedge fund managers, right? And they were coming behind the dumb money, right? And here in crypto, there's like a similar narrative. We have community managers trying to rally everyone behind a token, right? How do you look at it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no doubt that there's like comparables, right? There's, I think, not when you think about like the majors, but when you think about like what happened in like the Memecoin media and Q1, it's very obvious that
you could say that for a lot of serious projects as well.
Yeah, well, that's probably true too. I mean, listen, the story, the narrative matters a lot, especially early on, because tokens get launched so early in like a protocol's life cycle that there's, there's this period of time where like it is all about like what we hope will happen and what is actually happening. And this is part of I think what we just talked about the valuation differential. But there's a lot of like higher valuation being assigned to hope than there is like when people have exactly. Well, then when people have like actual traction, Maker before Athena had was the highest earning protocol in crypto, and yet was trading at 2 to 3 billion at a much lower valuation than some others. But like, listen, I think the point being is like that narrative matters, and the way of which, especially the Gen Z and even like younger millennials are engaging with that increased access to capital markets, whether that's through crypto, through options on Robinhood, or through things like GameStop. Like they're clearly they have a mindset that one, a lot of their mindset is around at least some portion of the money is gambling, right? And so if you look at the advent of zero-day options in the traditional world, like options are now zero-day options are now I think over half of total options that are traded, and this is in many ways like a retail product, and it's because people are gambling. GameStop obviously being a big part of the beginning of that market early on, and people want to trade things that are funny. They want to trade things that are that there's community around. And this is part of, I think, a broader financialization of the way in which people kind of engage with communities. And we're seeing, I think, broadly in crypto, but outside of crypto as well.
When you moved from like your Wall Street days to Web3, right? How was the culture shock like? Were you like, what the fuck is happening? People are like gambling on meme coins with like Trump's face on it. What is happening?
I think it took me a while to like, I definitely had that mindset for a little bit where I was like, oh, like, this stuff over here is like bullshit. Like, I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm only going to pay attention to like, the real world use cases that are really cool. And I think the reality is like, you got to kind of understand all of it. In the same way you have to understand crypto globally, you have to understand, why people interact with crypto and the way that they interact with it. Because that helps you think through like, what is going to be the next good DeFi protocol or the next good, ecosystem, et cetera. It is funny though, because I am definitely like in a Dragonfly, like I'm definitely like the boring guy, like
the suit.
I am a little bit like I try not to be, but it happens at times. But I think what's good is in what we do, like from that was really differentiated, is that we have these different perspectives at the firm. So people have been in engineers and have been in startups and have been on the product side and have been long term kind of Web2 investors and then also me who has that more capital markets Wall Street background. I think we're able to, in a way that's kind of unrivaled in crypto, approach the market with a lot of different perspectives and come to really good decisions on things.
Have you managed to wrap your head around meme coins? Do you trade them now?
So I do. I definitely wrap my head around it. I do a little bit of it, but we are an SEC registered RIA, and so I don't do a lot of trading. We try not to. We try to focus on the day to day. But I own a little bit of a few tokens. I'm not financial advice, but been long pups for a little bit. And so the interesting thing on the meme coins, the things I get are like really stuck to like real world stuff. And so I have owned Bowden since the beginning, and that's one that like resonated with me. I don't really get like all the dog and cat and like stuff. Like I don't know, it still doesn't resonate with me. But like the second I saw Bowden, I was like, okay, like that makes sense.